Hey, we have got a new project and I'm going to work with a new team, and that too on an agile project. I am entering my first sprint and we are going to decide how much work we will complete in this sprint. But how do I know how much work I can pick in my sprint backlog? This is my first sprint. We have not worked before on this project. So how do I figure out? Well, if you have that question in your mind, then we are going to talk about it in this particular video. Let me introduce myself. I am Nidhi Kohli, the Agile veteran with EduHubSpot, who has helped several professionals in their certification aspirations, both predictive and adaptive. Why wait then? Let's get started. Often teams have this dilemma as how much work they should pick in their first sprint backlog. Means how many user stories or which user stories they should pick in their first sprint backlog. Well, it's not such a big problem. Let's look at how it can be accomplished. One way would be to use historical information, but there is a catch to it. The team composition has to be exactly same what was there in the previous project and what is there now. That means the number of team members and the actual team members are exactly same. Not just that, the sprint time box has to be the same. So we can't take the velocity if previously the team had a time box of 2 weeks and now they are using 3 weeks. No, you can't do that. The second way would be to use some predefined calculations. This the agile team can come up with it. Maybe the organization has some calculations which they want the team to use for their first sprint velocity. That can also be done. The third way is that the team collectively looks at the product backlog and decides which particular user stories they can pick or how many user stories they can pick in their first sprint backlog. Now, what can happen? There are only 3 probable scenarios. Assuming the team picked user story 1, 2, 3 and 4 in their sprint backlog. The first scenario is they picked these 4 stories and they completed these 4 stories. Wow, our guesstimate is really good. The second scenario is that they picked these 4 stories, they completed these 4 stories, they still have time left. Then they go back and look at the product backlog again and see what else they can pick in the remaining time frame that they can complete. The third scenario is they picked these 4 stories, they could complete only 3 of them and 1 was partially done or not started. So they were able to complete only 3 as per definition of done. Even in that scenario, in all the 3 scenarios, the team knows how much work they were able to accomplish in that sprint, and that becomes the basis for future sprint plannings. Isn't it simple? And one thing I want you to know is that there are plethora of such resources on www.eduhubspot.com. Visit our website and you will find tons of information that will help you in achieving your PMP and PMI-ACP and many other certification journey. And now it's question time. Let's get to the question. Team selected stories worth total 20 story points in their first sprint backlog. At the end of the sprint, team could complete only 10 story points. PO is not at all happy about it. What would you do as a Scrum Master? Option A, do root cause analysis. Option B, educate product owner. Option C, use fishbone technique to identify why this problem happened. And option D, motivate the team members to meet their commitment. Pause your video here and write your answer in the chat window. And yes, option B, educate product owner, is the right answer. So why the Scrum Master should educate product owner? We need to understand we are on our first sprint. It takes around 3 to 6 iterations for Agile team to establish their velocity. Initial iterations, there's lot of fluctuations and then they reach a plateau. This plateau is the one which will help them to plan for their upcoming sprint work. So at this stage, we are just in our first sprint. We are still figuring out lot of things, and that is why this is not a cause of concern. So Scrum Master needs to educate product owner about agile ways of working and give the team the flexibility and empower them to self-organize and come up with their velocity in the first few sprints. So that is why the Scrum Master needs to educate product owner on agile ways of working. Isn't that so? Thank you for your time and I hope you have loved this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and you will get lot of information on our YouTube channel and also on www.eduhubspot.com. If you have any questions, you can write an email to me. My email address is nidhi.kohli@eduhubspot.com. Till next time, happy studying.